How's it going, guys? It's Joe. Welcome to the channel. Today is another episode of Grand Arena Championships, and I'm going against the Rule of 2 with a 6.0 million GP, as you can see on the screen here. I'm a big fan of this guy's name, and if you guys have read the book, The Rule of 2 with Darth Bane, it's an awesome book, guys. I highly recommend you guys read it if you're a Star Wars fan. So just a quick overview of his roster there, and just quickly showing you what we've got here in the top and the bottom fronts. So in the bottom we've got a Phoenix and predominantly a Rebel squad, and we're gonna smash this out with our Geonosian team here. So if you guys follow me, I don't use Geos on offense very often, but I decided to change it up a bit and use Geos here on offense. I'm gonna try and dispel that taunt from Baze, and look at that, I pretty much smacked down Jin Urso in the one go. The only problem with this team is I feel like I'm beating them too quickly. I got a 70k damage hit from Spy on there, and I'm not able to regen much of my protection now. So I'm trying to hit old Ben here in the back. I left him with a little bit of HP left, and I went for Cassian. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to regain much of that protection that I lost, so I'm going to essentially bleed banners, unfortunately. Which is quite consistent in this particular GAC. I wasn't as consistent and efficient as I wanted to be. I was very experimentative because I knew just from looking at this gent's defense that he didn't really put much of a defensive squad matchup. I feel like he was playing around as well, and he probably held on to all of his really strong teams. So I went for this Imperial Trooper team here. Typically I don't really use my Imperial Troopers very often these days, and I use them for the Phoenix squad here as well. So I was trying to throw a stagger onto Harrison Dula here. I got an ability block there, and I'm trying to target her down and just drop her as soon as I possibly can and get that turn meter train going with this Imperial Trooper team. And look, I almost lost Shore Trooper here as well, so I was pretty lucky here that they weren't able to beat him down, or Colonel Stark for that matter. So, and I was so glad I had thrown in this team, throw out that turn meter onto Shore Trooper and heal everyone up. So at this point I'm thinking, I'm so glad that happened, and I was so lucky as well. And I couldn't get any of the death marks out either, so there was some luck, but there was also some bad luck there. I finally got Harrison Dula down, and I'm thinking of targeting down Kanan Jarrus just because that taunt can be quite annoying, but then decided to go for Sabine Wren, as if she keeps throwing those grenades around, we're gonna keep losing banners here. So at this point I've got her at yellow. I got 24k damage on that Death Trooper there, and I'm gonna go for Kanan Jarrus now. And I'm so glad I brought in Short Trooper here as well for survivability. And Thrawn is absolutely amazing in GAC, guys. Absolutely underrated. If there are any characters that bring back protection and pass around turn meter, they're so valuable in GAC. So characters like BB-8 and Thrawn are absolutely valuable. So at this point I'm not going to be able to recover most of that protection that I lost, so I probably could have gone for a more formidable team, but I really wanted to have fun in this GAC and play around with it as well. So I got 56 banners there. I bled a fair bit as well, although this gent, it looks like he's only done 1901 on the scoreboard up there from looking. So in the back line, it looks like this gent's got a Grievous team. So he did leave one strong team on defense, and that's a Grievous team here in the back, so I decided to use my gas team. I'm gonna throw that grenade, try and get some stuns around. That didn't really work out. Got Magna Guard down, and I placed my Jedi Knight Revan on defense this time around, as it's quite a strong team on defense. And the problem with this is I've already lost a lot of banners on this battle. As you can see here, I have no protection left on any of my clones, and it looks like I'm just going for the win here. I was glad my General Skywalker had enough protection there to survive that and get 55 banners. At the top here, it looks like a mixture of different characters here, so I decided to use a Darth Malak solo here. And Darth Malak is such an effective character in GAC. He can pretty much solo all these filler defensive teams. In the back there's a Darth Sidious, who also inevitably applies healing immunity, but that's not going to save them from Darth Malak. Got a pesky taunt from Juhani there, but quickly got rid of that with shock. And Sidious is down. So I'm gonna go for Canderous Auto here. I probably could have thrown that shock onto Juhani at that point, just to stop the taunts from happening, but I don't think it mattered at this point. Darth Malak is just such a beast, and he'll just mow down on every single character in this lineup. And Wampa's doing a decent amount of damage here as well. Did about 18,000 that time, 17,000 just then. But that's a Relic 5 Darth Malak, so pretty crazy. Easy banners there, guys. 64. So I kind of made up for the banners that I bled earlier. So the two characters that you really want to hold on to on offense is Darth Malak and Gas. Just because at some points in Grand Arena, if you're able to, they can potentially regain your bled out banners by soloing a bunch of teams. So in this next one, guys, it's gonna be a very interesting lineup here. I decided to mix it up a little bit, so I went with a Kylo Ren Unmasked lead, and with a Sith Trooper and Watambor, with Nihilus, as there's a really annoying high relic nest on the opposing team, and I wanted to make sure I could drop that nest no matter what. And I wanted to get to that Annihilate as soon as I possibly can, and I'm actually glad that Jango's in this team as well, because that's two potential priority Annihilates right there, and it makes more sense that way. So I'm gonna spread that fear around and all those debuffs, although Master Makashi came out quite early, and all the Separatists are hidden in stealth. However, I've got a ton of debuffs in the field at the moment, and Annihilate's gonna be open for us very shortly. I'm gonna plant that shock on Nest, and I'm gonna use my AoE here just to drop all those characters' protection. And after Jango throws that missile, he finally goes off stealth, and I can finally target him here. I'm just throwing out those techs. So Kylo Ren Unmasked obviously has the shield generator, and I threw in that weapon tech onto Nihilus just to add to the turn meter gains, and even better for him to get to Annihilate as quick as possible. Because every time the opposing team takes a turn, that gives Nihilist 10% turn meter. So I've got Annihilate now, and I'm going to throw that onto Nest. So the problem with this is that I've lost a lot of protection on Wat Tambor here. And I don't think I have enough time to regain that, unfortunately. All those AoEs from Newt Gunray can be quite pesky and annoying. It's because they go through, essentially they go through that taunt, and they can hit all of the other characters in the back. Get a cleanse there and get all those debuffs out of the way. And we've got 57 banners, which is pretty good. And that was a really fun lineup to use. It's something different, something that I guess I can work on in the future as well. We've got a really high relic boss in this next battle, so I decided to use my CLS squad with R2 and C3PO. At this point, it looks like that boss has almost lost all of his protection and has been blasted really quickly by the CLS team. And it's really good to use this team as long as you don't have a Django on the opposing team that can potentially lock you down. So the problem is with having C3PO in this team and a Django on the opposing team is that you can go into this battle where Django doesn't take a turn at all, and that means he doesn't lose damage immunity. So blasting Dengar there towards the end for 59 banners. So although I've bled a couple of banners here and there, I feel like I'm still in a good spot at this point. And I still had Padme lying around, so I used that on this, I guess you could say Wookiee lineup. Clone Trooper, oh no, sorry, Clone Wars Chewbacca, Zelba, and Vandor Chewbacca. This is actually a Scoundrel team. And that Mission and Zelba are pretty relicked up, so they're pretty tanky. However, they didn't stand a chance against Padme. So Mission and Zelba are such a good combo for a Scoundrel-led team. I feel like there's a lot of theory crafting to be had. The problem is, investing on characters like these at the moment is not the best option, just because Galactic Legends are coming out and you potentially want to be prepared for that. So in the back line it looks like a rebel ship, a typical rebel ship. So I've learned from my last battle here, and I decided to bring in Ahsoka as well, Plo Koon and Ahsoka, under a negotiator lead. And the best thing about this team is having Plo Koon in the back line, you can always regain the protection you've lost. So we're gonna go for the taunting tank here, Biggs' ship in the back, and we're able to drop the Phantom and Biggs as well. Then towards the end here, I just wanted to regain as much health and protection as I could, so I threw in Plo Koon and was able to do that and throw some more turn meter onto my team right before I drop Han Solo's Millennium Falcon for 68 banners, which is pretty good. So guys, a very straightforward Grand Arena Championships. Definitely more opportunities to test around weird lineups and weird teams. And we've won for 1928 banners there, as you can see. The opposing team, he tripped on one of my teams here in the back line. which is very unusual actually, because I left a scoundrel team here in the back. He seemed to have one-shot my front teams, which I was actually counting on that he would trip on one of them, which didn't happen. And he actually tripped on this back team here, which is a scoundrel lineup with Zalbar Mission and Greedo Stormtrooper Han, which is quite weird. Anyway, I'm still glad for the win, and it's been a fun Grand Arena. So looking forward to the next one, guys. Anyway, I hope you drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you like the content. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one.